These are not the obvious tools. I've already covered 120 crafting tools across earlier videos in this series. Everything here is fresh. 80 more specific tools that solve specific frustrations and save specific amounts of time. Let's go. Number 1. Thread cutter ring. A small ring worn on the finger with a recessed blade that cuts thread with the flick of the wrist. No scissors, no fumbling. The blade is safely recessed, so it only cuts when you pull thread across it intentionally. Available from sewing suppliers for under $5. Number 2, machine-mounted seam guide. A magnetic or screw-mounted seam guide that clamps directly to the sewing machine bed, set at a fixed distance from the needle, so every seam is exactly the same width throughout the entire project, without measuring or eyeballing. The Quilter's Select and Reliable brand magnetic seam guides are the most widely used versions. Number 3, lighted seam ripper. A seam ripper with a built-in LED that illuminates the seam you're working on, specifically valuable for dark fabrics where thread and fabric blend visually. Clover and Dritz both make lighted versions. The light reduces the eye strain that accumulates over a long ripping session and reduces the chance of accidentally cutting the fabric. Number 4, needle threader with magnification combo. A handheld needle threader with a built-in magnifying lens on the same unit. Magnification and threading mechanism together, not as two separate tools. Prime makes a widely used version. For anyone who struggles with threading fine needles and also can't see the eye clearly, this solves both problems simultaneously with one tool. Number 5, rotating presser foot. A foot with a rotating wheel at its center instead of a flat metal base that allows 360-degree pivoting while maintaining fabric contact. You can turn the fabric mid-seam in any direction without lifting and repositioning. Bernina makes versions compatible with standard shank machines, dramatically reduces interruption during curved seam sewing. Number 6, double-sided washable fabric tape runner. A tape runner dispensing double-sided washable fabric tape that temporarily holds fabric pieces together for sewing, no pins, and washes out completely in the first laundry cycle. Dritz Wonder Tape and Clover Wash-Away Wonder Tape are the standard versions, used for basting zipper tapes and holding applique without pinning. Number 7, bodkin, elastic and drawstring tool. A large, blunt-tipped tool with a locking jaw that grips elastic or drawstring and threads it through a casing without losing it mid-channel. Unlike a safety pin which catches on seams and opens unexpectedly, a bodkin moves through smoothly. The Dritz bodkin set covers multiple widths. Number 8, quilting ruler grip strips. Small, non-slip adhesive circles or strips applied to the underside of acrylic quilting rulers, preventing the ruler from sliding during cuts. Creative Grids makes rulers with built-in non-slip surfaces. Adhesive grip strips applied to any existing ruler achieve the same effect for under $5. Accurate cuts from the first stroke every time. Number 9, pressing ham, tailor's ham. A firmly stuffed ham-shaped pressing cushion that supports curved seams, necklines, arm size, shoulder seams during pressing rather than flattening them on a flat ironing board. The Reliable Corporation pressing ham is widely used. Without it, curved seams collapse flat during pressing, removing the three-dimensional shape the curved seam was designed to create. Number 10, collar roll, lapel pressing aid. A cylindrical stuffed pressing roll used to roll and press jacket lapels so they curve naturally rather than fold in a hard crease line. Jacket lapels are designed to roll softly. Pressing on a flat board produces a hard, unnatural fold. Number 11, serger hook nose tweezers. Fine-tipped hook nose tweezers bent at an angle matching the lower looper threading path geometry on a serger, reaching under the metal cover into the tight channel that standard tweezers cannot access. Cost under $10 from sewing suppliers, the difference between a 10-minute serger threading process and a 2-minute one. Number 12, mini craft iron, pointed tip. A miniature craft iron approximately 5 inches long with a pointed tip reaching into areas a standard iron cannot. Small sleeves, pocket interiors, narrow fabric strips. The Dritz Mini Iron 2 and Clover Mini Iron are the most widely used versions. Number 13, needle knit gauge for multi-sizes. a flat gauge with graduated holes that identifies a needle's precise diameter when the size marking has worn off, common with vintage bamboo and hand-me-down needles. The Clover version covers US 000 to US 17 and doubles as a crochet hook gauge. Number 15, Yarn Swift and Ball Winder, paired setup. A collapsible umbrella-style swift that holds a skein open paired with a ball winder that converts it into a center pull cake in 2 to 3 minutes rather than 20 to 30 minutes of hand winding. Namaste and Knit Picks both make widely used paired sets. Number 16, Row Counter Ring, a small mechanical counter worn on a finger that clicks one count each time you press it, replacing the mental counting that interrupts knitting and crochet rhythm. Click at each row end, the count is always accurate. Clover and several independent makers produce ring counters. Number 17, Interlocking Foam Blocking Mats. Interlocking foam tiles that provide a large pin-accepting surface for wet blocking knitted and crocheted pieces. Knit IQ and purpose-made blocking mat sets cost $15 to $25. The alternative, blocking on carpet or a folded towel, either damages the surface or doesn't hold pins correctly. Number 18, Cork-Backed Stainless Steel Ruler, a stainless steel metal ruler with cork backing, providing a rigid, knife-safe straight edge that never cuts under blade pressure, unlike plastic rulers. The cork backing prevents sliding on cutting surfaces. Number 19, Ergonomic Craft Knife, Olfa AK4 or Excel K18, a craft knife with an ergonomic handle that distributes grip pressure across the palm rather than fingertips, specifically the Olfa AK4 or Excel K18 with cushioned grip. Olfa's black ultra-sharp blades, model BB10B, are 2.5 times sharper than standard silver blades, according to Olfa's own testing data, requiring less hand pressure per cut. Number 20, Paper Trimmer with Interchangeable Scoring Blade, a paper trimmer that accepts interchangeable blade cartridges, both a straight cutting blade and a scoring blade in the same rail track, allowing you to switch between cutting and scoring without remeasuring or repositioning the paper. Fiskars and Dale both make cartridge interchangeable versions, widely used in card making and scrapbooking. Number 21, Eraser Wheel, Adhesive Residue Remover, a rubber cylinder rolled across surfaces to pick up vinyl scraps, washi tape residue, and small paper offcuts without tape or a lint roller. The rubber surface generates static attraction that pulls small debris from flat surfaces, often branded as a cricket scraper eraser, essential for anyone working with vinyl or adhesive materials daily. Number 22, Dimmable Color Temperature Light Pad, a light pad with adjustable brightness and switchable color temperature, warm for warm-toned paper, cool daylight for accurate vinyl color checking. Huon and Artisal make dimmable color temperature versions. The brightness matters for different paper weights. Heavy cardstock requires maximum brightness to see through. Thin tissue paper shows designs clearly at low brightness. Number 23, Silicone-Tipped Glue Gun Covers, small silicone finger caps that let you use your fingertip to shape and press hot glue in its first 2 to 3 seconds while still pliable, protecting the fingertip from direct heat while allowing tactile positioning. Replaces the burnt fingertip from instinctively reaching to position hot glue. Number 24, Lath-Turned Wooden Punch Needle, a punch needle in a lath-turned wooden handle that fits the hand's grip comfortably for long sessions, distinguishable from cheaper acrylic-handled versions by weight balance and bore smoothness. The Amy Oxford and Labor brands are widely used. Number 25, Rubber Cement Pickup Square, a small block of dried rubber cement or rubber crepe eraser rubbed across areas of excess rubber cement, picking up dried residue without marking the paper surface beneath. Paper crafters and bookbinders use this constantly. The alternative, fingers or tweezers, produces surface damage. Number 26, Swivel Blade Circle Cutter, a compass-like tool with a swivel blade at the end of the arm, pivoting around a center post anchor to cut perfect circles in paper, cardstock, and thin acetate. Olfa and Fiskars make widely used swivel circle cutters. Number 27, Foam applicator daubers, small round foam-tipped applicators that apply ink to rubber stamps and blend chalk inks with smoother, more consistent coverage than sponges or cloth. The foam density keeps more pigment on the surface for transfer rather than absorbing into the applicator. Ranger and Tim Holtz Distress Ink daubers are the paper crafting standard. Number 28. Silicone-tipped sculpting tools for clay and resin. Small tools with flexible silicone tips in multiple shapes, flat blade, pointed cone, ball, that move polymer clay and partially cured resin precisely without leaving fingerprints. The silicone tip is non-stick to uncured resin and clay, releasing cleanly rather than dragging. Sculpey and Amaco make branded versions. Number 28. Nickel-plated T-pins, rust-proof blocking. Rust-proof nickel-plated or anodized aluminum T-pins specifically for blocking acrylic yarn that requires steam. Standard steel pins rust when exposed to steam and leave permanent orange marks on light-colored yarn, ruining a finished piece. A set of 50 nickel-plated T-pins from Knit Picks or Knitter's Pride eliminates this problem entirely. Number 29. Machine bias binding attachment. A sewing machine attachment that connects to the iron foot and feeds bias tape through a folding channel while the iron presses the fold, so cutting, folding, and pressing happen in a single pass rather than 3 separate steps. Janome and Brother make bias binding attachments for their machines. Completely integrates the fold and press workflow. Number 30. 3M ATG Adhesive Transfer Gun. A pistol grip tool that dispenses 3M double-sided adhesive transfer tape in a single motion, cleanly, uniformly, and without mess. The 3M 969 ATG gun is the most specified version in professional paper crafting and bookbinding. The tape is immediately tacky on application, replaces multiple slower adhesive application tools for production-level paper and bookwork. Number 31. Thread Spool Caddy Cone Stand. A standalone spool holder with an upright vertical spindle and a thread guide at the top, allowing large commercial-sized thread cones to feed cleanly into a sewing machine without sitting onto the machine's spool pin. Eliminates the thread-changing interruptions that standard 250-yard spools create for production sewers who buy thread in 3,000-yard economy cones. Number 32. Pinking Rotary Blade. A zigzag-edged blade that fits the standard handle of an Olfa or Fiskars rotary cutter, cutting fabric with a zigzag edge in a single pass across a cutting mat. Pinking an entire dress seam allowance takes 2 minutes with a rotary pinking blade versus 15 minutes with pinking shears applied seam by seam at the machine. Number 33. Multi-needle felting holder. A handle that holds 3 to 5 felting needles simultaneously, covering 3 to 5 times the surface area per stroke for large felting areas. Ashford and Wistia Editions make multi-needle holders. Number 34. Blocking combs, rows of steel pins. Knitting blocking combs, rows of fine stainless steel pins in a rigid handle that set multiple pin points simultaneously rather than placing individual pins one by one. Knit IQ and Knitter's Pride blocking combs allow you to pin the edge of a shawl straight and evenly in a fraction of individual pinning time with perfectly equal spacing throughout. Number 35. Cast iron fabric weights. Small, heavy cast iron discs placed on fabric instead of pins to hold pattern pieces during cutting, specifically for fabrics that cannot be pinned without damage: leather, faux fur, coated nylon, and silk. Taylor Seville makes purpose-made versions. Number 36. Clip-on thread net, machine-mounted. A small net that clips directly over the thread spool or cone on a machine sewing without a separate thread caddy. Costs under $3. Number 37. Rubber mat under sewing machine. A thin rubber non-slip mat placed under the sewing machine, preventing the machine from walking across the table during intensive free motion quilting or embroidery. Machine walking occurs when vibration moves the machine incrementally until the foot pedal cord goes taut and position has shifted. The same type used under kitchen appliances works perfectly. Number 38. Thick silicone heat mat, 400-degree Fahrenheit rated. A thick 3 to 5 millimeter silicone mat rated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, providing a workspace for resin pours, wax melts, hot glue, and heat gun work that insulates the desk surface from heat transfer. Thick enough to protect from heat gun and direct iron application temperatures. Number 39. Japanese Kishibori Owl, rotating handle. A Japanese-style owl with a round cross-section handle that rotates between the fingers, driving the pointed tip in a spiral motion rather than a straight push. The spinning tip cuts and opens material rather than tearing it, leaving cleaner-edged holes in leather and paper. Available from Japanese leather tool suppliers and bookbinding suppliers. Number 40. Teflon Bone Folder. A Teflon bone folder, instead of standard bone or acrylic, that scores paper without the friction drag that leaves shiny marks on matte paper or tears the surface of coated stocks. Teflon's non-stick surface glides across any paper without friction. Number 41. Standalone Electric Bobbin Winder. A separate machine that winds bobbins from a thread source while your sewing machine remains set up for sewing, eliminating the interruption of converting the machine to bobbin winding mode mid-project. The Dritz Electric Bobbin Winder and Sim Thread Bobbin Winder are available for $15 to $30. Keeps a production machine continuously operational. Number 42. Magnetic Embroidery Hoop. Two magnetic frames that sandwich fabric with magnetic attraction rather than screw tightening, eliminating fabric distortion from over-tightening and dramatically speeding up hooping. Brother and Janome both produce magnetic hoop accessories. Screw hooping takes 3 to 5 minutes per piece. Magnetic hooping takes under 60 seconds with no distortion risk. Number 43. Narrow Seam Roll for jeans and trousers. A tightly stuffed cylindrical pressing roll approximately 1 inch in diameter, designed specifically to fit inside a jean leg for pressing denim inseams and trouser leg seams from the inside. Number 44. Water Erasable Fabric Pin 0.3 millimeter fine tip. A fine 0.3 millimeter tip water erasable fabric pin, as opposed to the standard 1 millimeter broad tip versions, for marking small embroidery details and narrow hem depths precisely. The Prim Aqua Trick Marker Fine is the most recognized fine tip version. Number 46. Dual inch and millimeter acrylic ruler. A clear acrylic ruler printed with both inch and millimeter grids, essential for makers who read US and European patterns interchangeably. Standard US quilting rulers show only inches, European drafting rulers show only millimeters. A dual system ruler eliminates manual conversion math that causes errors when switching between pattern sources. Number 46. Wick Setter Bar. A flat bar with slots or holes that holds wicks upright at the center of a vessel while wax cools, eliminating the most common beginner candle-making frustration, wicks drifting off-center during the pour. The alternative, balancing chopsticks or pencils, is unreliable. Number 47. Heat Gun Stand, Hands-Free Holder. A heat gun stand that holds a heat gun upright at a fixed angle, allowing you to move the workpiece under the heat gun rather than moving the gun. Keeps the gun at a consistent distance from the surface, producing more even heat distribution than handheld application. Number 48. Olfa Self-Healing Mat Extension System. Olfa's self-healing mat system were multiple standard mats interlock edge to edge to create a larger unified cutting surface with aligned grid lines across joins. Build a surface as large as your table without a single oversized mat. Store the individual mats flat and assembled a large surface only when needed, important in small studios. Number 49. Chalk Reservoir Quilting Stylus. A stylus with chalk-filled reservoir in the handle. Pressing the tip to fabric releases chalk through the tip continuously, drawing full quilting design lines without stopping to reload. Clover makes the most recognized version. Continuous flow eliminates the stop and reload breaks that interrupt rhythm and cause line alignment errors on large quilting patterns. Number 50. Gridded Adhesive Pattern Adjustment Tape. Gridded graph paper on a low-tack repositionable adhesive backing applied over pattern paper to extend, grade, or adjust pattern pieces without redrawing the entire piece. The gridded surface makes seam width additions and grading increments visual rather than mathematical. Number 51, 6-hole rotary punch pliers. A rotary punch plier with a rotating drum of 6 punch sizes from 1.8 millimeters to 4.5 millimeters, selecting each size by rotating the drum. By the plier mechanism, you position material, select size, squeeze. 6 sizes in one tool. Number 52, resin pour spout adapter. A flexible silicone spout clipped onto resin mixing cup rims, creating a controlled pouring channel that directs resin into narrow molds without overflow. Resin from an open cup regularly overshoots small pinned molds, reduces material waste and cleanup time from spilled resin curing on mold exteriors. Number 53, clay extruder gun. A cylinder that accepts polymer clay and forces it through interchangeable disc tips under plunger pressure, producing uniform clay ropes, ribbons, strips, and tubes that cannot be rolled consistently by hand. The Makin's professional extruder includes 20 disc shapes. An extruder produces identical diameter from first centimeter to last. Hand rolling always produces slight variations. Number 54, embossing folder shim, cardstock pressure boost. A single layer of 65-pound cardstock placed inside an embossing folder before running through a die cutting machine, adding pressure that produces a deeper, crisper emboss on heavy cardstock, documented by spellbinders and Sizzix in their advanced user guides. Number 55, magnetic tip tape measure. A tape measure with a magnetic tip that sticks to metal grommets, ruler edges, and sewing machine components, holding the end of the tape in position without an assistant, allows single-person measuring of lengths that would otherwise require 2 people, available from sewing supply companies and general hardware suppliers. Number 56, foot-shaped sock blocker. A foot-shaped flat form inserted into a freshly washed hand-knitted sock to dry it in the correct shape. Without one, socks dry crumpled and require re-wetting to correct. With one, socks dry correctly in a single cycle with no extra effort. Available from Knit Pro and Drops Design. Number 57, ergonomic crochet hooks, wide grip handle. Crochet hooks with soft silicone or foam overgrip, substantially wider than standard slim metal or plastic hooks, redistributing gripping pressure across the full palm rather than concentrating it on finger joints. Clover Amour, Furls, and Tulipatimo are the most reviewed ergonomic hook brands, reduces repetitive strain in long production sessions significantly. Number 58, bent hook pin for built-in needle threader repair. A fine pin used to gently straighten a bent hook on a sewing machine's built-in needle threader, the most common reason built-in threaders stop working. A slightly bent hook is almost always the cause. A 30-second repair saves minutes per session of threading by hand every time thread is changed. Number 59, quilting board, graduated circle guide board. A cork board printed with graduated circle sizes from 2 millimeters to 30 millimeters, with guide holes at each measurement, allowing paper strips to be coiled to a specific consistent diameter. Without a board, quilt coils vary in size. With one, every 10 millimeter coil is identical, available from Quilling Superstore. Number 60, Stay Wet Palette, acrylic paint saver. A flat paint palette with an absorbent paper insert beneath a semi-permeable membrane, keeping acrylic paint hydrated for days without drying out. Masterson and Holben make widely used versions. Every time you reopen her palette, your mixed colors are still usable. Number 61, motorized clay conditioning attachment, Atlas motor. The Atlas 150 pasta machine attachment, converting a manual pasta machine into a motor-driven conditioning machine for polymer clay. This version is motorized, requiring no hand cranking. Number 62, digital wax melter with spigot. An electric wax melter with a precise digital temperature display and a spigot pour valve, maintaining soy wax at exactly the target temperature throughout a pouring session without the drift of a stovetop double boiler. Candle Science and Brambleberry supply digital melters specifically for candle making. Number 63, leather edge beveler. A small-handled tool with a V-shaped blade that shaves the sharp square corner from cut leather edges, producing a rounded edge more resistant to fraying. Available in sizes 1 through 5. Tandy Leather and Berry King make widely used versions. Every visible cut leather edge benefits from beveling. Number 65, soap pouring pitcher, narrow spout. A dedicated soap pitcher with a long handle and precision pour spout, controlling melt and pour soap flow into molds without splashing or uneven distribution that creates surface bubbles. The specific geometry of a soap pitcher controls pour rate in a way a ladle or measuring cup cannot. Number 66, dapping block and punch set. A hardwood or metal cube with graduated hemispherical dents used with matching rounded punches to dome flat metal discs into curved three-dimensional forms without any electrical equipment. Covers dome sizes from 4mm to 35mm. Rio Grande and Vegecation supply standard sets. Copper and aluminum sheet dome directly. Sterling silver requires annealing first. Number 67, pre-waxed linen thread. Thread drawn through beeswax or microcrystalline wax by the manufacturer, eliminating the manual thread conditioning step at the beginning of each new length. Available from Wuta and Craft Shaw for leather hand stitching and from hand embroidery suppliers. The pre-waxed format saves time for production workers who previously conditioned thread manually before every length. Number 68, high-density foam pressing block for paper flowers. A block of high-density upholstery foam used as a pressing surface for paper flowers. Placing the flat die cut on the foam and pressing with a ball-tipped stylus curves the paper into dimensional forms. The foam gives under pressure, allowing paper to curve around the pressing point. Number 69, punch board, box and envelope maker. The We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board, punching and scoring cardstock simultaneously to create box bases, envelope forms, and gift bag shapes by measuring against the board's built-in scale. What would require multiple measured cuts, score lines, and assembly steps becomes a single session of punch and fold measured against the board. Number 70, multi-chamber watercolor brush basin. A watercolor brush basin with separate dirty water and clean water chambers, plus a fine bristle cleaning grate at the base, removing paint through mechanical action while keeping clean rinse water separate. Keeping clean water available throughout a session eliminates the muddy color contamination that comes from a single chamber jar that quickly becomes dirty.
Number 70, seamless texture roller for clay and resin. A silicone cylinder printed with a repeating texture pattern rolled across raw polymer clay or resin clay to imprint the texture in a single continuous pass, producing a seamless textured surface. Individual stamp pressings leave alignment gaps between repetitions. Number 71, self-fusing silicone tape for heat protection. Self-adhesive silicone tape that sticks only to itself, wrapped around individual fingertips to create a thin, perfectly fitted heat barrier for handling hot resin molds, wax pours, and fresh-from-oven polymer clay. Unlike finger caps, self-fusing silicone tape conforms to any finger thickness with no loose edges. Number 73, flocked velvet bead mat. A flocked velvet tray, typically 9 by 13 inches with raised edges for bead sorting, layout, and stringing. The velvet surface prevents beads from rolling. The raised edges contain them when the surface is nudged. Number 74, pen plotter, Axio Draw for envelopes. The Axio Draw by Evil Mad Scientist is a pen plotter that holds any pen and moves it in precise XY coordinates to handwrite text onto greeting cards and envelopes. For a stationer producing 100 addressed envelopes, the plotter writes them all while you do other work in the time it takes to hand address 20. Number 75, rubber brayer, adhesive application roller. A rubber roller with a handle pressing adhesive, vinyl, or paper evenly across the full area with uniform contact. Produces professional flat adhesion fingertip pressure cannot achieve over large surfaces. Available in 4-inch and 6-inch widths from art supply suppliers. Number 76, beeswax block for thread tension conditioning. A raw block of beeswax used by bookbinders, pulling linen thread taut against the wax as drawing it through, embedding wax into the fiber rather than just coating the surface. Bookbinders using this technique report significantly fewer thread breaks and tangles during long hand sewing sessions. Number 77, nylon-faced tapping hammer. A small nylon-headed or leather-faced hammer for tapping folded book signatures flat before sewing, flattening leather edges after hammering rivets, and setting snap fasteners without marring the surface. The nylon or leather face leaves no metal marks on finished surfaces. Number 78, mesh layer stamp cleaning pad. A top mesh layer over an absorbent reservoir saturated with stamp cleaner. Misty and Ranger make dedicated versions. The mesh separates ink-laden surface from clean solution reservoir, cleans a rubber stamp in a single press rather than inconsistent repeated wiping on cloth or paper towel. Number 78, heat-activated foil transfer sheets. Thin mylar sheets with a metallic foil coating that transfers to embossed or stamped surfaces when a household iron at low temperature is applied, adding real metallic foil without a dedicated hot foiling machine. Deco foil transfers with a regular iron. The foil adheres to raised embossed surfaces or to stamp designs made with a compatible slow-drying ink. Number 79, clay cutting wire with ring handles. A clay cutting wire with ergonomic ring handles at each end, distributing the pulling force across the ring diameter rather than a single thin wire pressing into soft tissue. Available from polymer clay suppliers and soap-making suppliers. Number 80, UV blocking opaque bags. Black or opaque zip-close bags for storing UV resin, photosensitive embossing powders, and light-reactive inks between sessions. UV resin stored in clear bottles near a window begins partially curing within days. Under $5 for a pack prevents degradation of materials costing $20 to $60 to replace.